What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Knicks Nook. We made it past the pilot. We are here for episode 2 after the reboot. The Knicks just lost to the Lakers. It was an ugly game, so we're going to talk about that before we get into some superlative awards for the 25-26 season for your New York Knicks. But without further ado, Omar, not a pretty game. 110-97 loss for the Knicks. You know, this is one that felt like it was not a big game, but like a nice little boost for the Knicks. Should have been able to win in LA. The Lakers, one of the worst defensive teams in the league, and they held the Knicks to under 100 points. So, first of all, thoughts on the game?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is last time we did a podcast, we had the Pistons the next game and we got blown out. So I just feel like just bad vibes. I don't know, for whatever reason, whenever we record next game or whatever follows just doesn't end well. And it sucks because, you know, after that Pistons game, the Knicks went on a little run. So maybe after this Lakers loss, Knicks can go on something similar.
Yeah, I think it really feels like the Knicks do play down to a lot of their competition. They play up to their competition a lot of the times also, and that's great. But that's, I think, where the slight concern is with this next stretch. The Knicks have a lot of bad teams coming up. You got to make sure you take care of those, because I think the ultimate goal right now by the end of the season is you want to at least be a top 3 seed. You're probably not getting the 1 seed, but be in the 2 or 3 spots so you can at least avoid Detroit, assuming they still get the 1 seed until until the Eastern Conference Finals. I think that's where I'm at. What about you?
Yeah, I feel like it's just like kind of just get to the playoffs at this point. Like we were talking about before the show, the Knicks have been so up and down. Not even just recently. I feel like they've just been up and down the entire year. Whether it's one game looking like, oh, we're going back to the conference finals, we're going to the finals, and then the next game, you know, we're going to get first round exited by the Hawks or the Hornets or whatever. So I feel like we got to get to the playoffs. Like probably going to get into later. Jalen Brunson is not typically, you know, in playoff shape right now, but I feel like once we get there, he'll turn up hopefully with the rest of the team.
This is the big number that stands out to me right here is the 8 for 34 from 3-point land. And it just feels like so many nights the Knicks just completely forget how to shoot the ball. And then, like you said before we started the recording, then they'll look like the 2015, 2016 Golden State Warriors, you know, the next game. And that just goes to the point of they are a very bipolar team.
Yeah.
And I think that's just something we have to accept for the rest of the season is this Knicks team can look like 2 different teams on any given night, but in a way that can be good for a 7-game playoff series.
Yeah, and going back to the 3-point shot you were talking about, I feel like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like, especially as of recently, I feel like the start of the game is really what determines how the Knicks finish the game. I feel like if you look at if you scroll up to the first quarter stats and you look at their 3-point shot in the first quarter, I don't think they hit a 3 in the first quarter.
So first quarter, 1 of 8. They made 1. Yeah. It felt like they missed every shot they took in the first quarter.
I think I mentioned it earlier too, before we started recording, that like the first quarter, you kind of just got the feeling that this game wasn't going to be, you know, the performance the Knicks put on in Denver just a couple days ago. Like it was going to be one of those slow, grinded games that was going to be heavily focused on the 2 stars and Jalen and Luka, and Luka kind of just one-man army did.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give Luka his flowers for a game like today. Those shots that he was hitting in the last few minutes, the one on the right baseline fading away with Cat and OG.
He had OG laughing, bro. He had OG laughing.
Yeah, like, there's nothing when Luka. I'm trying not to glaze Luka too much, but I am still just so impressed with him as a player, and I made the point that I think this Lakers team is way better than anybody else could have probably had them, you know, at right now with any other star replacing his kind of production.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think how many wins do they have off the top of your head? Do you know?
They're almost a 40-win team at this point. I know they're in the top 6 seeds in the West. Like
I think they're bottom playing without Luka. And if they have Luka and if they have AD instead of Luka, they're bottom playing. So
they're 39-25. They're a game behind the Timberwolves and the Rockets for the 3rd and 4th seed. Like this is a team that is almost the 3rd seed in a Western Conference with one of the worst defensive rosters, if not the worst constructed defensive roster in the league. And I know Luka's efficiency isn't quite where some people would like it to be, but the fact that he can put a team on his back and just single-handedly will you to victory like he did tonight, like shout out to the Lakers for having a good defensive game. Marcus Smart played really well. I'll give him his flowers as well. But that was a game where Luka Doncic single-handedly put the team on his back and won the game for them.
They're also a poor 3-point shooting team.
Yeah.
I don't know if their percentage backup, it probably does, but like just Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt hit 1 or 2 threes today, which is just so weird. Rui hit one of those like tween step backs. Like
Rui was open. It felt like every other play.
Yeah, it just like I'm pretty sure the Lakers doubled the Knicks in 3-point makes, and that just can't happen. It just can't happen.
So we take a look here at the full totals, or not the fourth quarter of the game. So they had 15 threes to the Knicks 8. So yeah, almost double the amount. They shot it only 34%. Like it's not like they had some great offensive performance. They shot 43% to the Knicks 42.5. It was very much the second chance points, the not getting second chance points for the Knicks.
A lot of those Laker misses were in the second half. I don't know if you want to. This first half, the Lakers just weren't missing. I feel like I mentioned also earlier before we started recording, the Lakers went 0 of 10 in the fourth quarter.
First half, actually, they weren't great either. 44-31. Yeah, and then
it just felt like it. They were just not missing.
They were pretty much the same actually throughout the game. They shot the three a little bit better in the second half, but overall, it just felt like any time the Lakers offense went a little dry and the Knicks got some stops, Luka would come back and hit some crazy sidestep fadeaway three-pointer falling out of bounds into the stands.
Yeah,
like, there was nothing you can do against a guy like that when he's just in his groove.
From the 7-minute mark in the fourth to the 2.5-minute mark, the Lakers were 0 of 10, and the Knicks. I don't know how many points the Knicks scored, but they had opportunity after opportunity, and they just were not capitalizing. Whether it be a Brunson turnover, a Cat, missed three from the logo. It's just every opportunity was just missed by the Knicks. Like this could have easily been one of those Rockets games where they come back in the fourth quarter after down 20, but they just literally just everything in their power to just screw up. They blew it, honestly.
Yeah, and like Brunson overall didn't have an awful game. 24 points, didn't shoot the best. The 6 turnovers is the big thing that stands out to me. Yeah. And I think another thing that stands out to me is the fact that this is the guy, Mr. Mikal Bridges, is the guy who they need to be stepping up in these games. This is the guy they traded 5 first-round picks for. And I understand to the people who say he's not a score-first guy, and to those people I say he scores 26 points a game for the second half of the season for the Nets. He scored 20 a game this next season for the Nets. Like, this is a guy who's capable of scoring the ball at a high level, and it just feels like we get one of those games from Mikal every 2 weeks, and then it's 2 weeks until we get another big game from him. Then some people forget about it, but the games that Brunson has off nights, and really since January 1st, he's averaging 23 points a game on 45% from the field. Like, Brunson has not been this ultra efficient 30-point per game near scorer that we've seen from him in the past few years. And Mikal, I think, is the number one guy I look at and saying he needs to really step up. Cat, I thought, played well today, but Mikal putting up a donut against a Lakers defense that is one of the worst units in the league, to me, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I agree, but I kind of disagree in the sense that you look towards Mikal when Brunson. I look at OG when Brunson, because I'm looking at the stats right now. But prior to this season, like last season, like when OG scored 20 plus, the Knicks were like triple positive. Like it was crazy. So I feel like when OG, like you even saw in Denver game, like he had 34. Like it just the easy buckets that he got kind of opened up for everyone else. And I get what you're saying with the every 2 weeks Mikal thing, but I feel like the Mikal inconsistencies, I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but I feel like it's worth it. In the end, it's always worth it with Mikal, whether it be last season in Boston in the playoffs or whatever. I feel like he's not always is a stretch, but I feel like he does tend to step up in games that we truly need him. Like this is a big game, but we didn't. Like this isn't like the.
No, yeah, I see. No, I know what you mean. I think that's to be seen at this point. Like I can't really give you an argument against it because he did it last year. Can he do it again this year? He can, but I think it's just I really expected, or I think a lot of us hoped that the consistency would be there. At the beginning of the season, it was. At the beginning of the season, Mikal kind of looked like the player that a lot of people wanted him to be. He was scoring an efficient 16 points a game. He was up to 55% from the field like a month into the season. And he was shooting the 3 ball, at an elite level. He was 40+% from 3. It just feels like him and OG take turns with the inconsistency.
Yeah.
And those are, I guess, I'm not as harsh on OG. I think just because of how great his defense is and how much he impacts the game in other ways, because I don't think Mikal's defense is on that level, at least anymore. It's just frustrating because right now you don't want Brunson to have to be the savior, but then when Brunson's needed to be the savior, he hasn't been able to. So there's obviously some blame on Brunson.
Yeah.
But I think it's really just like you said earlier, it's on the team as a whole. The whole team is inconsistent.
I have a stat for you. So first, I'm going to let you guess. What do you think the Knicks record this season is when OG Anunoby scores 20 points?
20? He probably hasn't scored 20 more than like 15 times this season. So I'm going to guess they're a cool like 12-2.
They are 16-3.
Oh, okay. He's
Okay,
okay.
same question, but for Mikal Bridges.
That's probably pretty high too. And I'm gonna guess something similar.
Something similar?
I'll go 15-5.
This is crazy. The Knicks are 7-8 when Mikal Bridges scores 20 points this season, which I actually can't even believe.
That's
truly.
kind of weird. Yeah, I guess. Okay.
It maybe garbage time points kind of out filters that, but that's surprising me.
No, that's definitely surprising, regardless of if it's a bit of a flawed stat at all. I think it's hard because you want Mikal to be this stud level defensive player, but you also want him to give you 15 to 18 a night. I'm so conflicted with Mikal because I see the people who are like, "Oh, we traded 5 first-round picks for this guy," and I get like that at times too. Which was, I think, my initial reaction, where I just like the 0 points really pisses me off because I don't think you can like. The bad games are one thing. I feel like the really bad games happen too much for a guy that they traded so much draft capital for. That's really my issue, and I'd still not like you can't reverse the trade, so there's no point in really harping on it, I guess. But it just sucks to feel like you could have spent that kind of capital for something.
I fully agree. Like the offensive inconsistency is really tough to watch, but like one of the main reasons they traded for him was the defense, and I feel like although it hasn't been amazing comparative to what it was in November, like Mikal is still giving us what we want on defense, and I feel like we just have to wait and see the playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think at this point there's no more really evaluating of this team. It's kind of all out in front of us. We know what this team can be. We know what this team can't be at times. And that's just like what they're going to be in the playoffs. It's what team do we get to see come playoff time. I think there's a lot of teams they match up better against, like the Celtics or potentially the Cavs. I mean, the last time they played the Cavs wasn't good, but they have played the Cavs well this season in general. And same with or then the opposite goes for like Detroit, where I don't think this team matches up well against Detroit. I think the East is so matchup based at this point in the season. The standings are really going to have such a huge impact on the playoff outcomes.
I agree. Like what you said, like the Knicks are third, right?
Yeah, currently third because the Cavs lost today. They lost as well, so they still have, I think, a game and a half, 2-game lead on Cleveland.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so a game and a half up on the Cavs for third seed. We'll see if the Knicks can hold on to a top 3 spot for the remainder of the season. But now we'll get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. So today, Omar and I have prepared some Knicks Superlative awards for the end of the season. Obviously, you're used to the MVP or like team MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, yada yada yada.
That's boring.
That is boring. So we did some, more creative thinking and decided to come up with awards named after former or current Knicks players, and then we'll explain what the meaning of each award is, and we'll go in to our picks. So to kick things off, I have brought upon the Kemba Walker Award, and that is going to be the most disappointing Knick this season. I think we're going to be on the same page for this one, but I'll let you go ahead and give your take first.
My most disappointing Knick player of the year so far this season. I mean, it kind of depends on how you look at it, whether it be in relation of last season or just like in total, like this new team. Wow, you put me on the spot. Most disappointing Knick this season. I am gonna go in totality. I hate to say it. It's gonna be Karl-Anthony Towns.
Okay.
I think he's been great the past month, but I feel like that first half of the season was a little bit not for my liking.
I actually, I don't love hating on Cat. I know I've given him so much criticism. I
hate to say because he's played really good the past month and a half, like 2 months.
Yeah. And he's really changed. Like his defense has been so much better, and it's really that I told you that's where my breaking point is really on the Knicks believing in them as a championship contender or not. If Cat can at least be that net neutral on defense, and he's been that and arguably more. And the plus minus, I know that's not a great stat. I think single game plus minus is a worse stat, but overall it has to have some. I think it tells somewhat of a story that a player has been positively or negatively impactful. Cat's been atop the league in that stat for a while, and. Yeah, but I understand it. He was really bad the first, 75% of the season to this point, and the shot's still not been quite what it's supposed to be. He's not even close to 40% from 3 this year. He's up to 36, which is better, but I get it. For me, it's someone who's not on the team, and it was someone I was very happy about signing. Gershon Yabusele to me is the most disappointing Nick. I don't know if you thought of him because
that's no, I absolutely did not remember him whatsoever.
I think
but
a lot of us
it makes total sense.
A lot of us have literally just like put it out of our heads as if it didn't happen. I feel like at this point, like his tenure is going to be forgotten about in New York, as short-lived as it was. Yeah, he was just bad. Like we thought he was going to be a nice signing, gave the MLE to him. It was like, okay, this guy was a nice little piece for Philly last year. Mm-hmm. Genuinely awful. Like there's no sugarcoating it.
I think terrible. I think a lot of it goes down to, because if I remember correctly, he signed before we had a coach. So like just schematically, it just wasn't really a fit. Yeah. Like the Knicks were playing him as a 3-and-D wing when he's like, he's big. Like he's a bigger forward. Like he's just not one of those spacers. Like he can space the floor, but he's not like. His off-ball gravity isn't really helping Jalen Brunson whatsoever.
Yeah, and he's been good with Chicago. I think that's just credit to the fact that he doesn't have a lot of pressure on him now, and he can just do his own thing and be one.
He's playing center. He's playing center.
He's playing small ball 5, and he's actually done a really good job spacing the floor. He grabbed 13 rebounds against the Knicks when they played Chicago. Yeah. That was kind of funny. But yeah, so I had Yabusele. I think Cat's actually a pretty good shout too. But you can go ahead and give us your first award if you would. So so kind to do so.
My first award is something that we were just talking about, the Dante DiVincenzo Award. I'm going to give that to Landry Shamet, which kind of self-explanatory. The role Dante DiVincenzo was with the Knicks was just a space movement shooter that just was creating that gravity that helped space the floor for Brunson, not sink it like other players do. Shamet's been a great.
Basically, like the JJ Redick for the Knicks of the Year award, if you will.
Yeah, if you will. I feel like Shamet has done. He might be if there. I don't know if you have it, but most improved Nick. Like he's clearly up there. Like he didn't play much last year, but Shamet has been a huge revelation for the Knicks. And
I think is that not another knock on Tibbs for the fact that he was letting this guy rot on the bench?
Yeah, because genuinely, like if you like polled like a small amount of Knicks fans, like a lot of them would clamor for him to start over.
He's been better than Josh, in a lot of moments.
Yeah, so I think he's done an incredible job rehabbing 2 shoulder injuries within the past year and a half, and he's still shooting. I want to say 40%, but he's been shooting the ball at a not even just accuracy wise, but he's been shooting it like volume wise, and I feel like, he's shooting. Wow, he's shooting 5 a game compared to 3 a game last year.
Yeah,
and he is shooting 41%. So yeah, he's been exactly what the Knicks need and exactly what Dante DiVincenzo was when he was with the Knicks.
Yeah, he's giving him like 10 points a game at this point almost now.
They said on the broadcast it's a career high 10 points per game. Yeah.
So for my Dante DiVincenzo award, I had the same award but a different meaning. This is the player to me who most outperformed their salary. So this year, most outperformed like the money they're making. Yeah. You can include a rookie, I guess, on a rookie deal as well if you want to go and give yours first.
Yeah, I mean, especially this player is coming up in a contract year or contract extension. Mitchell Robinson has played amazing. He's only, if I remember correctly, his contract was descending when we signed him a couple of years ago. He makes like
$12 million this year.
Yeah, he makes $12-13 million, which is the mid-level exception, which he's going to easily, I mean, hopefully, or not for our case, but he's going to easily surpass that next contract.
Yeah, hopefully he takes that hometown discount. I think he definitely wants to be here, but he has become someone that's like, okay, yeah, the Knicks could re-sign him.
Was he yours too?
I think I'm in agreement with that. I was going to pick between him and Deuce, but Deuce has missed a lot of the season, so it's like Landry is also another guy who could be given a shout for this, but I think because of the fact that Mitchell Robinson, he's not an all-star, but there are nights where he legitimately gives you all-star level impact, and he is one of the biggest game changers in the league. That's not a top 10 to 15 player. So for me, he went from being this guy that he's a luxury if the Knicks can retain him to now you literally cannot let this guy go. Like he is priority, top 3 priority for them this offseason is getting Mitchell Robinson to sign an extension.
Yeah, shout out to Hoopology on Twitter. Mitchell Robinson leads the league in contested rebound percentage, which obviously, I mean, if you ask any Knicks fan, there's like, duh, like who else would it be? But he's leading it by a wide margin, and I feel like that's the most important part when it comes to Mitch, where he gets the contested ones, just not just the open ones. Like he's always down there. He's going to be.
It takes like 3 bodies to keep him off the last, especially because the way Tyson Chandler used to do the tip out rebounds where he would tip it
Yeah,
out
yeah.
to one of his teammates. Mitchell Robinson tips it up to himself like 3 or 4 times, like
Exactly.
volleyball taps it. He'll come down with it, and it'll lead to either. He's been aggressive scoring the ball recently too, like having the 9
Mhm.
points against the Spurs in the first. Not the Spurs. Was it
The
the Spurs
Nuggets.
that he had 9?
The
The
Nuggets.
Nuggets, yeah, the Nuggets game.
Yeah.
He had 9 in the first quarter. That was partly because Jokic just was not playing any defense, and
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson basically had free reign. But yeah, I think him being this aggressive too, if he can even give you like 6 points a game on top of his rebounding and defensive presence, he's just one of the best role players in the league.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but when it takes 2-3 guys to box him out, I don't think people truly realize what that does to the offense and like how much space that creates.
Yeah, that's why the Knicks get so many of those second chance 3-point opportunities, because Mitch is in there getting the rebound, and they have 3 guys in there trying to get him. And the wings that are supposed to be guarding OG and McHale out there, or Brunson at the top of the key, like those are when they get left wide open because they have no other option, or else he's just
that and the fact that when there's like 2 or 3 people like on him in the paint is wide open. Like the paint is wide open, so they can just like drive in without worrying about other defenders.
Yeah, I mean, Mitch is, I think, the definition of this award, if you want to go and give it to him. So I think we're in agreement with that one there. Then I guess that'll bring up you with your second award.
Where do I want to go? Who do we want to talk about? We just talked about McHale, so I'll save him.
Give us a good name. Give us a good name. One of your favorite named awards.
Favorite named awards. Okay, well,
like the most.
Okay. So I don't have a. It's not the best name, but I have it titled. He's on the bench here, but nowhere else. A player who's
so
on our bench. Yeah, but he would start for not everywhere else, but I think he'd start 80% of the other teams. I'll let you take a guess.
I mean, is that going to be Mitchell Robinson as well?
I mean, it could be, but I have Deuce McBride. I think Deuce McBride showed, especially early in the season, he was having that incredible shooting start.
Yeah,
that he could definitely start for not only this team, but he can start for other teams. I feel like I mentioned it earlier. I don't know if we were recording or not, but I feel like if you asked a bunch of Knicks fans like what's your ideal starting lineup, I think a lot of them have Deuce McBride in there, whether in for McHale or in for Hart. I think Deuce McBride would just genuinely fit so perfectly with the starting lineup of the Knicks. But yeah, I think he would genuinely start for like, especially the bottom like 10 teams. Like he would start for them, but I feel like he can start for some contenders as well.
No, if he wasn't 6'1", he is your prototypical modern two-way 3-and-D wing. He's just has the unfortunate genetics of being 6'1". The thing that helps him though is he does have a pretty long wingspan, so that definitely helps him at least in getting in passing lanes and trying to contest bigger guys. But yeah, I think he is still the best option to be starting with the Knicks when he is healthy. I still would rather see Josh Hart off the bench and seeing the 1-2 of Brunson and McBride, but I definitely think Deuce could be starting on a lot of teams. But I'm going to go with an interesting one, unless you had one more thing to say about Deuce.
Not really that about Deuce, but I feel like when you're talking about the starting lineup change, I feel like if Mike Brown hasn't, how many games has Josh Hart started this year?
A lot, and I think the lineup at this point is literally 0. Like the net rating is like.
Because I want to say, like, if Hart's not coming off the bench by now, I don't think he's going to suddenly come off the bench to start the playoffs.
No, I don't think he will, but I said it's like for ideally, like if I was coaching like that, I would be starting Deuce.
He started 38 games this year out of the 52, and I want to say that most of those off the bench games were like the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he started the season off the bench, and then they moved Josh to the starting lineup, and then that started.
Who was starting ahead of him in the early season? I
thought Deuce started a few games.
Yeah, but I don't think
he did too.
It might be Landry.
I remember Landry starting at the beginning of the season, and people were complaining because he wasn't playing well, and then he started playing well, and people were like, "We need to play Landry more."
Deuce on the season has 14 starts out of 35 games.
Yeah, so he definitely. Mitch has a few starts too. I don't think it's a lot. I think it's like 3 or 4.
Landry has 9. I thought it would be a lot more for Landry, but I mean, I guess not. I mean, the beginning of the season is such a blur to me. Right now,
I'm pretty sure it was Deuce and Landry who were mostly starting.
No, I think it was Mitch too, because Mitch had 14. So
really,
that combination. Because early in the season, if you remember, I mean, I'm gonna talk about it early or later on in my awards, but Mike Brown was experimenting a lot.
No, I remember that. I just didn't know how many games Mitch started because I thought it was like 2 or 3, and then it didn't go well, and then he just kind of gave up on it because we haven't seen it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I guess yeah, I really thought it was
Yeah,
Landry.
Mitch started. He started all of November. All of his
Oh
games started
damn.
was in November. After
Okay.
that, you get like one here and then, but they're
I
all in
remember he
November.
started once I think the other week, but I could be wrong about that. I thought he was on the starting graphic somewhat recently,
His
and I was
last
like,
starting game was February 6th
oh
against
okay,
Detroit.
yeah, that
That
sounds
was
about
that was
right.
the Detroit game. Yeah,
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
that was the second to last Detroit game, not the last one.
Yeah, no, the last one I knew he didn't start because I remember Cat
Yeah,
starting that one
yeah.
alone. But yeah, I like your pick of Deuce McBride.
Hmm.
I would Deuce is a guy I would go with, or Mitchell Robinson, but we just gave Mitchell Robinson an award. So you know
Yeah.
what I'm gonna go with? I'm gonna go with
Let me
rookie
hear it.
Muhammad Diawara. I
Mm.
think that this is a guy who's 6'9", can run up and down the court like a seasoned NBA athlete. He can
Don't forget his wingspan.
his wingspan's like, what is his exact wingspan?
7'4",
7'4"? Yeah,
7'4", yeah.
7'4" wingspan. The passing is one of the things that, and his shooting. I think the passing even more so because I did not expect this guy to be someone who in transition can throw a behind the back pass to a cutter and have
Yeah.
him lay it in like right behind him.
I think for me was his handle. Like he can like really handle the ball. I mean,
Yeah, like,
obviously not great. It's still raw, but he can handle the ball
but
for his position
there's
and
something
size.
there which I really that
Yeah.
was the one part of his game where I was like I feel like he's going to struggle to create
And
space. But
he's one of those he's one of the rare Nick rookies that like when he gets the ball, he's not looking for like Mike Brown or he's not looking for Jalen Brunson like to
no,
like tell him what
he's
to do.
really
Like
confident, and
yeah.
that's something Mike Brown said is that this is like one of the most confident young men I've ever been around or whatever. And I think that's really contagious because when he's on the court, like he is not afraid to take a jumper the second he gets the ball if he's open. He's not afraid to try to drive past his defender and take it to the cup. He had a move today against the Lakers where he got it in transition. It wasn't like a euro, but he ducked his shoulder a little bit and laid it in a
He
finger roll. And I was like, rookies don't do that. Like that's such a like that is such a common mistake for rookies to just mess up in transition and lose control. And he looked like a top 3 pick, someone that was expected to just be polished.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember or if you were watching, but in garbage time against the Nuggets, he had a crazy like reverse layup that like was off the bank, which is crazy. Which is
Yeah,
supposed to be
was that one of Kolik's assists?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah,
He's been genuinely everything and more I could have expected from him, and I was calling him the next Pascal Siakam probably 2 weeks after he was drafted, and he's still
yeah.
been that impressive to
The
me.
similarities are crazy. The
Yeah,
similarities are crazy.
and Siakam did not have that shot or that handle at that age, so that
Mhm.
makes it all the more scary, I think, for Mo.
Also, did Siakam come in at 20?
I think I want to say they're this
He
very
came in
within
at
a year of each
22.
other.
22. So
And Mo is what, 21?
no, he's 20.
He's 20. Okay, yeah. So
So yeah, he's got a lot of time to build into that body.
good,
Like
man. I think I'm usually not one to be like, oh, like one for one comparison, but like if there is one for one I'm gonna make in today's league for a young player compared to a aging player or veteran or solidified guy, I think Siakam and Mo are very, very
yeah,
similar.
and we were talking about revelations earlier with like, Leonard Shamit, but I think the main overall like big scheme revelation was that the Knicks like have a young talent. Like before, like in the offseason, we're like, okay, who are we gonna like be delusional about? Like Pacome Dadier, like Tyler Cole. Like no, it's Mo Diawara. Like I feel like
Yeah,
that's
no,
just submitted.
he is our guy that we can be delusional
And then the
about.
thing is, he came out of thin air too. Like no one was even like projecting him. Like he just came out of actual thin air.
I was upset when we drafted him because I just wanted them to go get one of like the March Madness guys that was kind of like
Yeah.
one of those. I think RJ Lewis actually was somebody that I was kind of
How'd that turn out?
yeah no. I was like, oh,
Where
he's
is
a good
he?
draft pick.
Where
I
is
don't
he?
know. He's in the G League, I know at least.
I think
Or
he's.
got a
I want to say.
two-way.
I want to
Celtics?
say Washington. I thought Washington. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I know Washington has Kadari Richmond, who I went
You
to
know
school
what? I
with
think.
at Seton Hall.
No, I do not. But I'm pretty sure. If I remember correctly, I think RJ Lewis got like cut and like went to a new team already. But whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Mo Diawara was probably the right pick. I'll trust Leon Rose to do his job, I guess, and with me and all my basketball expertise and experience in the front office of many NBA teams, I guess I'll calm down and I'll let Leon make the decision.
Okay.
So I guess that's back to me. Then I will give my next award. This one's the only one I have that's not named after a player. This is the Absolute Cinema Award. So this is the most entertaining Knicks game that you have watched this season.
Well, that's a good question. I think we honestly might have talked about it. I don't know if it's the winner, but it's definitely a candidate. The Knicks Heat game from the Cup game. That's what came to mind.
That was a fun one. For me, I'll go ahead and say it was the Cleveland game on Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
I thought that's up there too. The Rockets game, which was kind of recent, was up there too.
That was good too. The 18-point comeback.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've had a few good games recently. I mean, even the Nuggets one, winning by 40 against a former.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if you want to include blowouts. The Nuggets game was up there. Our last time playing the Sixers, when Alvarado hit those threes.
Yeah. Alvarado, what, 6 3? Was that 5 or 6 threes that night?
I think it was 6 3. I think that was also his second game.
Yeah, it was his second game.
6 threes. So yeah, if in terms of blowouts, honestly, I might go with the Nuggets game. In terms of entertainment,
yeah, that was just enjoyable.
In terms of entertainment, I don't know. That Rockets game was really, really because we were in the deepest of like sad hours and out of nowhere comeback.
I was so pissed off that night. You couldn't have made me happy to watch that. Yeah. I was glad they got the win, but I just was so annoyed being down in the first place.
I feel like we're forgetting some games.
The thing is, towards the end of the season, the beginning of the season becomes a blur.
Yeah, bro, it's such a blur. Such a blur.
And then it'll all come back to me once the season's over with, like a Spotify rap just pops into my head of the NBA season. It's like, oh, remember these moments? I'm like, oh, I unlocked these.
Speaking of, NBA.com tries to do Spotify rap, they do it terribly.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's not even worth using.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
So, am I up for the award? Or are you up?
Yeah. So, who would you be your pick then? The Nuggets, you said, because that was the most fun for you.
I'm gonna go Rockets. At home, was that the game right after the KD Burner situation?
No,
because I remember it wasn't the game. Maybe not the game after, but like it was a couple games after.
From down 18. No, first game back, I think Jabari Smith had like a 30-point game or 25-point game or something for Houston. That was the Rockets game was after they lost to Detroit. No.
Yeah, but I was just remembering because if you remember in that Rockets game, Jabari missed a 3 late, which was just like one of those bonehead like shots where you just like want to save clock, but he shot it instead. And I remember the entire timeline was just frying him. It just made it that much better.
Wait, when? So yeah, the Rockets game was after the Rockets game was already like 2 weeks ago. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, it does not feel like that. Anyways, as time is just completely zooming past us, so I'll go with the Cleveland game. 2 comeback games, I guess, then for each of us, just a few months, weeks apart.
I mean, we didn't mention the Cup game.
The Cup game was also very good. That's also another shout. I thought about that one, but I didn't want to say that an NBA Cup.
I completely forgot about it.
No, I just didn't want to say that a Cup championship was my favorite game and get a clown. No, I'm just kidding. But I still love that Cleveland game. I just think beating the Cavs to me felt better than beating the Spurs.
On Christmas too, like you can't really beat Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that'll bring up your next award. I guess you can give us your third.
A player. I'm gonna go with a player we haven't talked about at all. Like not even one peep this entire episode. I'm gonna go with the "Where Is Last You" version, and I'm gonna let you guess
last year's version of him.
Where is last year version of you? Where are you?
Where
you want me to go?
Where you? I guess I'll go ahead and say I think this is where I'd give Cat the award because the offense has completely fallen off a cliff compared to where it was last year. This was a guy who still averaged 24 points a game last year. Had the usual elite shooting that we've seen out of Cat for years. The 50, 40, 90 flirt. Has pretty much done his whole career. And the three ball is the biggest thing to me. Is I think the appeal to having Cat is that you have arguably the best shooting big man of all time on your team. The rebounding is great. I love the fact that he is a vacuum cleaner on the glass. But to me, the offense has just been that much worse, even if it's only minus 5 points a game. The efficiency's been worse. I just think it's been a real struggle for him, clearly, to learn the Mike Brown offense for a lot of the year. So I think I'd have to give it to Cat.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Now, like realizing it, it's too similar to the biggest fall, or would you say the biggest fall?
Yo, you just cut out.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you're frozen. Hold on. Oh, no, you're not. No, you're back. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that was okay. Regardless,
you just re-say what you were gonna say.
One of your awards was biggest disappointment, right?
Oh yeah.
And you had Cat. Yeah. So it kind of ties in together. But where's last you version? Where is last you Ariel Hukporty? I feel like beginning of last year,
All right.
When the Knicks were in the NBA Cup, like in that area of November, December-ish, Ariel Hukporti was getting so much
Dude, the Hukporti
praise.
hive was live.
It was huge, bro. I just remember everyone saying, "Okay, we got our next big for the next, or next backup big for the next X amount of years." People were talking about Mitchell Robinson being expendable, and everything of that just kind of just deteriorated. And I just feel like I'm not sure what happened.
It's so funny to look back like a year from where we were, or like a year prior, a year.
People were comparing to Isaiah Hartenstein, dude.
Yeah, no, it's just so funny thinking like, oh, Mitchell Robinson's this expendable guy because of Ariel Hukporti. Now it's like, okay, Ariel Hukporti is really not good, and we need to sign Mitchell Robinson.
I will say, I think a lot of people forgot he tore his meniscus end of last season, which I mean, I guess that could be something, but
right before then, he was looking good, and he was looking like one of those guys, not to the extent of Diawara, but a guy who was like, okay, he's played professional basketball somewhere else already. He's clearly got some good intangibles. He was running the floor well. He just looks lost this year, dude. Like, he doesn't look like an NBA player.
Every aspect of him, like the Knicks last year when they were using him, like in that short role, like he was making those passes. And then last year, especially defensively, like he was good defensively last year.
Shots left and right.
Yeah, this year I cannot say the same. Like, I hate to be that. Like, I hate to be talking about this because I still like I'm not giving up completely on him because like again like his idea is like, being a backup center. Like you can't get too hard or too low on a backup center. Like that's just what he is. But I feel like we really expected more from him this year.
I could still see him ending up like an Neemias Queta type a few years down the line if he ends up in the right situation. But
because he has the build of a solid backup center,
and the athleticism. Like he has really broad shoulders. He's got long arms. He's pretty athletic. He just looks scared of the basketball. Like I feel like he's so afraid to fuck up with this team where he doesn't want to do anything. And that almost also holds him back because you can't get better if you're afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that one. I guess last year, where's last year's due? I guess for me, Cat. I guess he'll be your most disappointing. So it's similar-ish awards for Cat. But I like the Hukporti one for that too because I was hoping that Hukporti was going to be a solid backup big who could play some spot minutes this year, and he's just not been that at all. I guess we can do how many awards each should we do left? So because it's getting.
I have two more that I want to get out.
Okay, we'll do two more each then. I guess. Well, let's just try to go a little quicker. I guess. If we can. All right. So to take a little bit of a negative spin, not because I want to be negative, but because I think it'll be kind of funny, even though that last award was slightly negative, I guess, because we were talking about where the last year's version of them was. But I have the Elfrid Payton Award, and I want to ask you if you can guess this award is going to be about before I tell you.
100% already know how you're going about this. The Elfrid Payton Award is a player who continuously starts when he probably shouldn't be starting. And I'm going to guess you have Josh Hart.
No, that actually would be a really good spin, and I could have totally done that.
You didn't do that?
No, I just went with the player that you've least enjoyed watching this season because I don't think I've ever had a Knick that played as much as Elfrid Payton did that I like watching the least. I have to say it's probably Mikal Bridges for me.
Mikal Bridges?
Yeah, it definitely is Mikal. I guess if you want to defend him, this will be your time.
I mean, if you're speaking just purely offensively and like in expectations relative to what we want from him, I mean, it's hard to disagree or kind of argue that.
I think a lot of it just comes from the fact that I see it so many times. I'm like, okay, Mikal, shoot the ball, or like Mikal, like Brunson's not in the game, he's not playing well, like take over. And I just feel like every single time I have any expectations for Mikal, I get let down, and I think that's where it really comes from. He could always save that and become a savior in the playoffs like he did last year. I'm not counting that out.
I feel like one thing that at least we know that he has it in him. Like that he can turn it on.
Yeah, that is a good point. At least we know he has come back from adversity before. It's not like he's incapable of doing it.
The first thing that comes to mind was those Boston games, like when he scored 12 or 14 points in the third quarter and led that comeback. Like he has it in him. Like when he decides to turn it on, but it's just getting him to turn it on is the hard part.
So would you have Mikal too, or is there anyone else that you despise watching?
Player I just don't like. I feel like in general the answer is no, but in certain aspects I can see where where someone can say Josh Hart is kind of hard to watch on offense, especially when you start the game and you have the opposing center, Jackson Hayes or DeAndre Ayton, or you have whoever kind of roaming on Josh Hart while the better defender guards Cat. Like, I feel like it's just
you know what I'd be really
cringy to watch.
You know what I'd be really interested to see is what Josh Hart's averages look like when he hits his first 3 of the game.
That sounds like something someone has done already, and I feel like the stats would be a lot better than what they are now.
Because I feel like every time he gets confident in his shot and he's like, okay, I can shoot threes this game, then everything else falls into place. When Josh Hart's afraid to shoot the basketball, I could have put Hart for this too, probably, because I do have a lot of gripes with him, although I think you convinced me the Josh Hart cycle. Like, I think he's very important to this team.
I just feel like the Josh Hart, like, don't get me, like, I don't want to say, like, the player I don't like watching is Josh Hart, because in general that's just not true. But I just feel like in certain aspects it's hard to watch Josh Hart when he overpasses because the teams aren't respecting him. I feel like in general, when Josh Hart is on and he's in a groove and he's not overthinking and he's not, whatever, he is a great watch because he's taking the ball off the rim, off rebounds, running in transition, doing that one elbow sidestep Euro in transition. And then when he's doing that, he's also incorporating, when he's on the fast break, he's passing to, like, he's a great transition passer when he gets into that rhythm.
But he gets into those modes where it's like he just drives to the rim with reckless abandon, like today where he drove.
It happened today with Marcus Smart.
Yeah, first 5 seconds of the game, I feel like he drove into DeAndre Ayton and was it who was the it was Ayton and someone else. They were like right there, and he just got like clobbered by them and blocked out of bounds. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time being negative, but I thought that was I really just wanted to throw the Elfrid Payton stray in there. I'm not gonna lie, like I really needed to do that. But yeah, you can give us your next award.
My next award. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Mike Brown or Mikal Bridges?
Let's shift over to Michael Brown.
Okay, well, it also kind of ties into what we were talking about before. I have Scientist of the Year.
Okay.
Scientist of the Year goes to Mike Brown, the most experimental coach the Knicks have had since Mike Miller. Mike Miller, honestly. So,
shout out Mike Miller's run after Dave Fizdale got canned.
Shout out / non-shout out. But regardless, Mike Brown has been the most experimental coach, like I said. We were talking about it earlier. In the month of November and December, the Knicks were trying lineup after lineup after lineup, whether it be double big with Mitchell Robinson, whether it be Deuce McBride instead of Josh Hart, whether it be Leonard Shamet instead of Josh Hart. I feel like not even just that, like experimenting with the starting lineup, he's experimenting with the bench. Like you saw during the Cup run, Tyler Kolek was playing. He had a stretch of games where he was averaging 20 plus minutes or 15 plus minutes. He was a part of the actual rotation. He was playing solid for a month straight, which is good to see. Jordan Clarkson, beginning of the season, he was playing high minutes. Basically what I'm trying to say is that we got a look into every single player in the roster for us fans to, not also Mike Brown, but also us fans to realize what we have and what we don't have in certain players. And I feel like that hasn't been the case with prior Knicks teams. We didn't know what we had or didn't have. And this year, Mike Brown is fully laid out the Knicks roster, and we know what we have.
Yeah, and
so shout out to him.
That's really important for the playoffs too.
Exactly, especially for us. That's the most important part. Because not to cut you off.
No, go for
it. Because last year we didn't know what we had in Leonard Shamet, or Tibbs didn't know what we had in Leonard Shamet.
Tibbs didn't know who we had in anything.
Tibbs didn't know what we had in Leonard Shamet until game 3
or 4 was when he first played.
Was the Pacers series, which was crazy. But he didn't play one of his best bench players until the second to last game of the season in the conference finals, which is just insane to me.
And the fact that, I'm not going to go out here and make a big stink about Tyler Kolek because I'm still not all that high on him. But the fact is that Kolek was drafted, first or second pick in the second round.
He's like 33, I think.
Yeah, this was a guy that was supposed to come in immediately and at least play and have some type of role. Tibbs didn't give him any chance at all. He's had some moments already for the Knicks, but the most important thing is that Mike Brown figured out, hey, this guy can be our emergency third point guard, or he can be an emergency ball handler if someone goes down or if things aren't going well. He figured out with Clarkson, hey, Clarkson, you're not going to be a part of this regular rotation, but you can be a really important piece for if, we find ourselves unable to score the basketball, you can come in and be a spark plug. Like, he has figured out exactly.
Yeah, It's situational rotations. If we need offense, you put offense. If you need defense, you put defense. Tibbs wasn't doing that before. He was just putting out his whatever unit. And also, in talking about Kolix and the Clarksons, we didn't mention Mo Diawara. Like Mo Diawara also
never played. He would have never sniffed
exactly. Like that's another plus to Mike Brown experimentation. Like he played Mo Diawara when I don't know. I don't know if you remember when Mo Diawara first started to play. I don't know if the Knicks fans were like, "Yay, he's playing," or was like, "Okay, what are we doing?" Like he's like.
I was begging for him to play from the beginning. So
really, because I feel like some people were being like a little bit pushback. Like, why are we playing a rookie this much? I don't know. I feel like there was some pushback on it, but I feel like Mike Brown, stood to what he believed in. You said it earlier. Mike Brown said he was like one of the most confident rookies he's ever had, and I feel like you said, we weren't going to get that with Tibbs, and Mike Brown has done everything we could have ever imagined with a rookie. So shout out to him for playing and sticking with, not just playing, sticking with Mo Diawara.
Yeah, I think I am just happy. If there's anything I can say about Mike Brown positively, it's that he has left us with no secrets on this team. The cat is out of the bag. We know what this team is, whether it's going to be the highest of the highs, or the lows of the lows. We know what this team is going to be. I think come playoff.
Although there's one, I don't actually. It's not necessarily a secret. Hold on,
Daddy A.
No. It's the double big lineup. They haven't played it that much comparative to last season.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm trying to pull up numbers. This season they have. Oh wait, hold on.
You can go on NBA.com and just look at the 2-man lineups for Mitch and Cat.
I'm on Data Ballers. I don't know how to pull up the minutes. I don't know how many minutes they played. If you can
find that out. Hold on.
Well, their net rating is a plus 9.5, which is great, and I want to see the difference in minutes. Oh wait, I'm an idiot, bro.
Is right there.
It says minutes at the top, but the bottom says 3-point%. Okay, no. They played together this season a total of 217 minutes, which I'm no mathematician. That's just not a lot. And if you compare it to last season, okay, well. They didn't play that much either because Mitch missed the regular season.
But come playoff time, it became
in the playoffs. In the playoffs, they played 152 minutes together. So that's just in the playoffs, which was couldn't have been more than 20, 30 games.
Yeah.
So compared to this season, it's a lot less. Which I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and saying that they're kind of just saving it because they know it works. I said, it's a plus 9.5 this year. And it was a plus 7, almost plus 8 last year in the playoffs. So they know it works, but they haven't necessarily.
I think that's the lineup that you're going to need eventually if you want to beat Detroit.
Do you think they start that lineup at all in the playoffs?
If it's against Detroit, I could see it. If it's against Boston, I don't think there's a real need to. And same thing for Cleveland, or maybe Cleveland. You do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not scared of Cleveland because they have James Harden.
Yeah, but that's my only kind of not secret, but something that hasn't totally been out in full stretch.
Yeah, that makes sense. So then it's my turn, right? Back to me. Okay. So I have the Marcus Morris Award, which is the player who most surpassed their expectations.
Shout out Marcus Morris.
Shout out Marcus Morris for getting us Emmanuel Quickley, and then Emmanuel Quickley getting us OG Anunoby. So Marcus Morris is almost solely responsible for the Knicks being able to get.
Exactly. I will never, ever forget what he did for this team.
I will also never forget his game winner with 10 seconds left against Dallas.
And I was there for that game.
Oh, that's so nice.
That was Porzingis' first time back in the Garden. Yep.
I don't know if I've ever prayed harder on a player's downfall ever in a single game than I did against Porzingis in that game. But for me, actually, no, I'll let you go first. So who is the player for you that's most surpassed your expectations?
Most surpassed my expectations this year.
Become Daddy, right?
It's because it's not Jalen Brunson. It's not Karl-Anthony Towns. It's not Mikal Bridges. It's not Josh Hart. I feel like the only candidates are OG Anunoby, Landry Shamet. You know what? I'm gonna go Deuce McBride. I'm gonna go Deuce McBride because I feel like last year we got solid glimpses and long stretches, but I feel like he's fully, like I said earlier, he's fully cemented himself. He's a top 6, top 7 player on any roster. I feel like he's fully grown into what he is, and I feel like it's going to be showcased on his next contract. I feel like he's fully an NBA player now.
You're
Like
definitely
100%.
not getting away with paying him $3 or $4 million a year again.
Maybe not even the mid level. Like he's probably gonna get more than the mid level.
Yeah, but yeah, I think with Deuce, he's always been one of my favorite players in the Knicks. I didn't expect him to get to the point where he was actually becoming a legit top guy off your bench.
He's a sniper now.
You're going to him to score your 12, 15 points a game. But he has absolutely been that. But I think for me, I'd just go Landry Shamet more so because I had almost no expectations for Landry Shamet. I guess I wasn't Tibbs to where I thought he couldn't contribute, but I was really expecting him to be nothing more than a 10, 15-minute guy. But he has proven to be a legitimate starting level player if need. Like he can start in a pinch. I'm not saying he's a starter.
He can close too. He can close.
Yeah. He has turned himself to me into, or in my eyes, I went from seeing him as someone who was nice to have as one of your last 3 guys on your bench to now being, okay, this is easily a top 8 guy in your rotation.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can't really go wrong. Like I was saying, there's not many candidates.
Yeah. Really. I think him and Deuce are probably the 2 that you'd have to pick between. But not too much explanation for that one. You can give us your next award.
So my next award, which is also my last award, unless we want to get into honorable mentions, I'm going to go Stock Operator of the Year. And again, not many candidates for this one. Only really Deuce McClellan.
So steals and blocks, right?
Steals and blocks, and the candidates are OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. And I'm gonna go Mikal Bridges. I know we were talking, not negatively. We were just talking about how recently, the past 2 months, I would say, his along with his offense, his defense hasn't been what it was early. Oh my god!
Don't die in the pod, Omar.
Earlier in the year, like I was mentioning earlier in the pod, in the months of November through kind of December, Mikal Bridges was on some kind of hot streak where he was getting steal, block after block after steal after block. He had, if I want to count this correctly, he had through November 2nd through November 30th, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in 1 month where he had more than 2 blocks and 2 steals, both.
That's ridiculous.
And that doesn't even mention the fact that he had 7 steals one game, and he had 1, 2, 3. He had 4 games where he had 3 and 3. Like 3 steals and 3 blocks, which was crazy. It's just that stretch was just unreal.
Am I wrong in saying that it felt like he was scoring 8 to 10 points a game alone off of just chase down blocks or poking it out in the lane and just getting transition buckets?
That's what him and OG have been doing, and we want to see more.
That's when the Knicks are at their best. When OG and Mikal are breaking up passes and getting out in transition and getting their buckets the easy way, that is literally like the best way that the Knicks can play, because it's not just the good defense, it's when their defense is aggressive and turning into offense, because those are the Knicks teams I'm used to from years ago, the gritty Knicks teams that scraped to the 4th seed with Julius Randle as their number 1 option. Like, those are what I love the most about good defenses, and when the Knicks do that, it feels like they're a really, really hard team to beat.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise. Like, in that month of November, Mikal was averaging, like, he had 16, 14. Like, he was, like, consistently, like, he had 1 dud. He had 1 game where he scored 6 points, but other than that, there was 16, 14, 18, 16, 16, 14. He had a 35-point game in there. Like, he was just very solid in that month of November. And, like, if we get that November Mikal in April, like, in April, May, like, the Knicks are going to be very dangerous.
As much as I'm critical of Mikal, there's no one who wants to see that kind of Mikal back with the Knicks more than I do. So,
and again, for that, to reiterate, like, we've seen him do it. Like, we've seen him do it multiple times. It's just we want it more consistently, which is it's one of those give and take things. Like,
you just giving me a taste of him. I want the whole load.
Charles Barkley, shout out Charles Barkley. But
no, that was Paul Pierce, isn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So it's something both would say.
He's like, I'm just getting a taste.
No, yeah, you're right.
I want the
full
load.
You're right. I think I was misremembering my.
Chuck's definitely said some stuff like that.
But yeah, we've seen Mikal do it multiple times. Like, it's one of those give and take things where you want so much, but you can't have it all. Like, it's just one of those things where we just gotta wait till the playoffs.
Well, hopefully we get the right version of Mikal come playoff time. But that's going to do it for our awards.
Wait. Can I give one honorable mention?
Yeah, go for it. Get it off.
Honorable mention, Teammate of the Year award.
Oh,
I know we talked about it earlier. Teammate of the Year award goes to Gershon Yabusele for declining his player option next year so that we can get Jose Alvarado.
I was going to say, and then shout out Jose Alvarado might be a good shout for that too, because I think he's also been a complete culture changer in a way. Yeah, so we'll wrap with that. This is the second episode, so the next one will be the third episode if you are really good at math. I know that's a really tough one. But yeah, that's gonna do it for Superlative Awards for the Knicks this season.
Hopefully next episode we don't get dogged like we always do when we
Yeah,
record.
hopefully
So.
next time we record, we're coming back from a win, and not
We
from
should
a
be.
loss.
Oh, wait, one thing. The Knicks record upcoming, right? There's the end of March. We play at Utah next. We play at Indiana after that, and then we're home for Golden State. We're home for Indiana. First leg of a back-to-back. Second leg of a back-to-back. Memphis, at Brooklyn, at home against Washington, at home against New Orleans, at Charlotte, at OKC, and at Houston. Which, if I'm being non-biased, I see 2 losses there. Maybe
I don't see any losses. They're winning every single game, actually.
I agree.
The Knicks aren't going to lose a game for the rest of the season. You heard it here first.
Bookmark it.
Make sure to tune in to the next episode. We'll start to have more of a structured schedule as we begin to get more of these out. But yeah, we'll be back next time, sometime next week or the week after that, whether it's bi-weekly or weekly. We'll figure that out, and it will be posted on our Instagram. Make sure to follow all of our socials. They'll be linked into the description. Follow Omar. Follow me. Follow 2for1 Hoops. Follow New York Knicks News. Follow everybody. Follow all of us.
Follow Landry Shamet.
Follow Landry Shamet.
Yep.
Hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Peace.